Each week we take time in our services to talk about generosity, how we can steward the resources that God has graciously given us through avenues like tithe and offering to fuel the mission of being disciples and make more disciples. And I wanted to share one of the most outrageous stories of generosity in the Bible, and it takes place in the Old Testament book of Exodus. Okay, the people of Israel, they were camped at Mount Sinai for over a year, which is a long time to camp. I couldn't imagine doing that. And they were there sort of preparing, God was preparing them to be his chosen people. And part of that preparation was the construction of a tabernacle that would travel with the people and house some of the sacred items for worship. And when it came time to build the tabernacle, Moses, who was the leader, asked the people to give generously to this construction project. And listen, give they did. So much so that in Exodus 36, we read these words from Moses to the people. And this is in Exodus 36, verses 6 and 7. So Moses gave the command, and this message was sent throughout the camp. Okay, men and women, don't prepare any more gifts for the sanctuary. We have enough. So the people stopped bringing their sacred offerings. And in verse 7, right, their contributions were more than enough to complete the whole project. I love this story. I don't know of any pastor or church that has ever told people to stop giving. We have enough. And listen, I don't think you'll ever hear that from me either as your pastor. But why did the people give so generously here? Like that's a question that I always love to sort of dig into, right? And here's what I think. Here's what I believe. They saw the vision. I'm convinced that we as people are generous when there's a clear vision. When we see the why of giving, we are naturally inclined to be generous. And just for example, Oasis, back in December, you helped raise over $3,000 to help us exceed our missions giving goal because you saw a need. You saw a need and you were generous towards it. Okay, so why am I saying all of that? Well, I never want you to just give without a compelling vision for why. Hey, your generosity is about so much more than just providing me a paycheck as your pastor or keeping, all of our utilities clicking along here in the building. Okay, it's really about God's mission. Okay, we want to be a church of disciples making more disciples. And our generosity helps to fuel that. Okay, just for example, right, your generosity, it allows us to give away books, right? The book, The Master Plan of Evangelism, we're giving that away as part of our upcoming sermon series, which is all about our mission. It's all about being disciples that make disciples. And so our goal is to actually decrease our spending on operations in the years to come so that we can have more of the giving available for ministry and mission. That is the heart of the Board of Administration and me as your pastor. So I just want to say thank you for continuing to give generously, for seeing the clear why of what God has called us to. Right? It moves forward as we continue to say yes and partner with Jesus.